Today, I'm going to show you how we're able to turn website visitors into LinkedIn connections to message and nurture. This is a great setup for B2B businesses and a system that we use every day within our agency. This entire process is automated using N8N, and once set up will become a lead machine for your business. So to build this, we're going to be using our B2B, which enables us to turn the website visitors into email addresses and LinkedIn connections. We're then going to connect this into a tool called Prospera, which will enable us to nurture these leads with automated messaging and hopefully book them into some sort of an appointment. So even if you're not technical, I'm going to walk through how to set up everything from scratch so a total beginner can get this working. And if you do want to skip having to build everything yourself, I'm going to have all of the templates and resources that I'm going to be using in this video available for completely free within my school community. We've got over 20,000 members now with 50 plus AI agent templates and courses. It's a great place to network with others and become a better AI builder and entrepreneur. Once again, it's completely free and it's linked in the description. Now, if you are a business owner and want to get a system like this built out for your business, please feel free to reach out to me by using the first link in the description. We'd be more than happy to explore this use case and plenty others that could accelerate AI within your company. All right, so diving right into it, this is our B2B. This is going to be one of the key core components of getting this system up and running. So our B2B, as I briefly mentioned, is the tool in which is going to enable us to turn our website visitors into real email addresses and LinkedIn profiles. So it sounds pretty incredible. We're literally able to just take our existing website. We don't have to really change too much. We just add a code snippet from our B2B to it. And then everything is going to get handled automatically for us. So they're going to be able to use the cookies on the website to be able to track who's on the website and then lead that to some sort of contact information. So you can have a look at our B2B's website right here, identify 70 to 80% of your website traffic. You can have a read through this and just get an understanding as to how it works. But you can see it's a pretty popular product. It works pretty great. And like I said, we've been using this for quite a while now within our agency. So this is the actual RB2B dashboard. This is our own RB2B account. And I can just showcase some of the data from our own agency, our own website, as to some of the individuals that have been coming through, the companies that have been coming through as well. This is just a graph of looks like the past month or so of data that has come through. And you can see the amount of companies that are coming through every single day on our website. It's quite a lot. And you can also see the actual individuals. We have profiles and companies, and you can actually just see that specific data as well. If you have a look on the left-hand side, you'll see person level visitors as well as the company level visitors. Now, I'm not going to click into them specifically because there are real people that have come through our website on there. But ultimately, what you're going to see is their email address and potentially a LinkedIn profile. And so very simply, we're able to now connect our B2B into an N8N automation so that we can start to reach out and contact these leads in any way that we'd like. So the system overall is very dependent on you having some amount of website traffic. Obviously, you don't need to have a bunch of inbound traffic coming through. If you're running ads or anything, you're obviously going to be getting inbound traffic through that. And there's no doubt about it, there are going to be people who look at your website, interested in your services, but don't end up reaching out to you or booking an appointment. And this is a system that's going to come in and really just save those leads that are going to be falling away in those cracks. So I'm sure that you're familiar with N8N, but if you're not, very quickly, it's an automation tool which essentially enables us to plug and connect different applications together and also add in a lot of AI capabilities. So if we wanted to take these leads from our B2B and then send them to an AI agent to qualify that lead or send information to a CRM like HubSpot, this is an automation tool which is going to enable us to do that. But otherwise, you can have a look at some of my previous videos on N8N to get a good understanding of it. Otherwise, just looking at their website and scrolling through a lot of the features and functionalities of N8N is going to get you up to speed pretty quickly. And then lastly, the third tool that we need to get this working is a tool called Prospera. This is essentially directly going to be used for messaging and nurturing with the LinkedIn prospects. And so the reason that we're using LinkedIn here is that LinkedIn just has a much higher response rate than something like email. Given that we have the LinkedIn profile of a particular individual that might be interested in our services, if we're able to just send them a direct message to their LinkedIn inbox, it is going to get way further than an email. And the response rate should be far higher as well. I'll have Prospera linked down below as well. Once again, you can have a look at their website and just look through some of the features. But you can quickly see here exactly what it enables us to do. Essentially, we are building out our own AI agent in which is going to be messaging these LinkedIn leads. It's going to be automated, so these messages are going to be very personalized to the individual that we're messaging. This will also handle the lead qualification aspect of it as well. So it is going to look at that particular LinkedIn profile and determine if it's qualified against your services. And if so, it is going to connect with them on LinkedIn and then also send them not only one message, but multiple follow-up messages if needed as well. All right, so hopefully you have a high level understanding as to all of the components required to get this system up and running. First thing that you need to do is go ahead and just sign up for our B2B and then plug this into your website. They have a pretty good tutorial on exactly how to do it. It doesn't take too long to set up. Ultimately, they're going to give you a code snippet. Just need to take that code snippet and add it to your website. You'll also need to add a disclosure of the cookies that you're collecting on the website within your privacy policy. Once this is set up, you are pretty much good to go. This system will now start to pull through all of the leads that are coming through on your website. If you wanted, you can just leave this for a couple of days to make sure that you're actually getting leads to come through, that it's all working. And you'll see those populate on that dashboard, and in the person level visitors and company level visitors, you're gonna see all the data start populating there. So once that's working, you've got leads coming through, come over to the integrations tab, which you'll see in the automation section right here. And this is where we're gonna be connecting this directly into N8N. And luckily for us, if you just scroll down a bit on the integrations page here, there's plenty of platforms if you do want to plug into them. But you'll see N8N does have their own connection here. So we can click on view integration settings. And very simply, all that we need to do is take a webhook from N8N and just add it to this connection. So you can see there's a webhook URL at the bottom here. I've just blurred out the URL because I'm using it live in production right now. But I'm going to jump over to N8N just to showcase exactly how to get this URL. So this is the N8N workflow that we've got currently set up, running live and active within our company. And ultimately what's happening here is that we're getting our B2B contacts coming through on this webhook. Those leads are then getting directly searched within our HubSpot CRM. And then we're hitting a switch node, which goes down one of two paths. Either this lead is going to be an existing contact, somebody that we've already reached out to, and an existing client, in which we obviously wouldn't want to follow up with over LinkedIn. Otherwise, they will be a new contact in which we've had no contact with before, and we do want to get in touch with them. And that's why there is a switch here, which goes down two different pathways. So if you're not using HubSpot, obviously you can swap this out for whatever CRM system that you have. And I do think that this is quite an important step if you are getting lots of leads coming through. For us in particular, it's very likely that they might already go ahead and book an appointment. They might send us a message through our website lead form. And if this does happen, they're automatically going to be put in HubSpot anyways. And so we don't want to add any duplicate leads. And we especially don't want to be sending messages to try and engage leads who have already contacted us first. So I'll come back on how to build everything and how to structure this entire workflow in just a minute. But first up, you just need to create the webhook trigger step right here. So if you click on the plus button and just type webhook, you're going to see the webhook trigger come up here. And so that'll just be this webhook right here, starts the workflow when a webhook is called. And so if you click on that, immediately a webhook is going to be given to you. You'll see here, this is just a big long URL in which we're able to send data off to from other applications. Now, if you are going to be sending this directly into production, I'd recommend swapping this over to the production URL. Otherwise, if you're just playing around with it, doing some testing, you can use the test URL for now. And once you've got that URL, come back to our B2B and just add it directly in the web URL section right here. Just hit the save button, and now that's pretty much good to go. Make sure that the integration is actually enabled so that we can automatically send these individuals to our N8N automation. Now I have disabled the company level profiles. It's not as easy to just message a company as it is to message an individual. So it's not as effective, and I wouldn't recommend it. And then also sending repeat visitor data. We don't want to be sending through the same person multiple times. We only need to send them into the system once, and then we're going to be doing our nurturing ourselves. So at this stage, we've got our B2B connected to N8N, and now we've got the leads coming through this system. The first module that I've got here is this HubSpot search contact. And very simply what's happening is that we are doing a search within our HubSpot CRM of the particular individual, his name, and we're just seeing whether or not he exists within our database. And so you can see at the bottom here with the query, we're just adding in the variables of the first name, last name, and company name. And the operation that we're using is the contact. So we're looking at contacts, and the exact operation is search. So we're just searching those contacts. I've added a particular filter at the bottom here. If you click add option, you'll see query come up, and just add in the values that you want to use to search with. Now, once again, if you're not using HubSpot, this is obviously going to be something that you can use for other CRMs. There will just be a slightly different setup required to do so. Once that's happened, we're either going to have a lead come back from HubSpot or we're not. And in that case, we're going to be hitting the switch step right here, in which I can click into. And very simply, if the ID comes back, so this is a HubSpot ID, a contact ID from HubSpot. If this value exists at all, this means that they do exist within HubSpot. And if that's the case, then we are going down the pathway of existing contact. Otherwise, if the HubSpot ID doesn't exist, no one is here, then we can just say it doesn't exist, and then we can go down the pathway that they are going to be a new contact. So pretty simple stuff. The switch node will allow us to go down two different pathways now with two different drag steps. And if they are going to be an existing contact, I just have a dedicated HubSpot module right here. And all that this does is it actually just updates and populates some additional fields for this particular contact. When we do this search using our B2B or just using LinkedIn, we get back some information about their company and about them. And just to add to this system, essentially what we're doing is just updating some of the properties within our database so that we're just adding some more information to these leads that we already have. Obviously, you can get as creative as you want here. If you wanted to send them an email to do a follow-up as they viewed your website again, you could really be as creative as you want and do whatever you want. Now, if this is a brand new contact, this is somebody that we haven't got in our CRM before. This is a person that's just landed on our website, most likely for the first time. What we're then going to be doing is jumping into an information extractor module right here. And very simply, all that's happening is that this is taking the LinkedIn URL directly from our B2B that has come through on that webhook. And we are essentially using this information extractor module, which is like an AI step. And we're telling it that we want to extract the LinkedIn username from that LinkedIn URL. And you can see here the attribute that we've outlined here. I've essentially said that I want the LinkedIn handle, and this is the sort of variable name for that. And the description is that this is the LinkedIn username from the URL. So once again, this is using AI to power this. We're essentially relying on an AI model to understand what a LinkedIn URL is, as well as a LinkedIn username, and then properly extract what we're looking for. And this is connected into an AI model itself, as it needs to be, given that it's powered by AI. And at the moment, we're just using an open router chat model, which enables us to access thousands of different APIs from one API call. And in particular, I'm just using GPT 4.1 mini. It's not the most advanced model. We don't need it to be. It's a very simple task. We just like it to be quick and cheap. So that is all that information extractor module is doing. It's just getting the LinkedIn handle. So now coming over to Prospera, this is where we can now make use of that particular LinkedIn profile. And then we can start the process of sending out a LinkedIn connection request, as well as doing a series of LinkedIn messages. Now you might be wondering why I'm using a separate platform like Prospera to send out the connection requests and send out the messages as well. And ultimately, doing outreach and talking to people using LinkedIn is a pretty difficult thing to do via their APIs. Essentially, LinkedIn doesn't actually have any APIs to send connection requests and to send messages. It's very restricted and it's very hard to automate. And so the benefit of Prospera is that they've done all of that work for us. They've got a dedicated system that enables us to be able to send these connection requests and send these messages for us on our own end. So this right here is my dashboard here on Prospera. And so I'll just quickly run through creating a campaign and then connecting that to our N8N automation. So this on the screen, website visitors, is the active campaign that we're using. We have active leads coming through and being sent into this that are being messaged and connected with. So to get a new campaign set up, just click on new campaign, make sure you're in the campaigns tab. You can name this whatever you like if it's going to be used for website visitors or something else. I'm just going to call this the YouTube demo. First up, you will be asked to connect to your LinkedIn account, obviously. Just go through the steps that it asks you to. Then we can hit create campaign, and then we're going to land on this page right here. And this is really everything that we need to get it all set up. So the first thing that you'll see highlighted in yellow as well is the webhook. So this is what we're going to be using now to send leads directly from N8N to the system right here. So just click on the webhook. This is going to give us a brand new URL in which we can use and send our leads off to. And this is exactly what you'll see at the end of my automation right here with this custom HTTP request. So very simply, what we have is a post request to the URL that we got given from Prospera right here. And all that we need to do is just set up a specific JSON body to send off to this URL, in which will contain our LinkedIn URL profile. So make sure that you are sending off a structured JSON body. And then all the way at the bottom here, we'll see the JSON code right here. Coming back to Prospera, they're giving us an example here as exactly what the JSON should look like, which is this code right here. So just copy it directly from here, come to N8N and just paste it. And then from our previous information extractor module, you'll see the exact variable of LinkedIn handle coming from that information extractor step. We're just going to be using this and dragging it directly into this JSON response so that it is pulling through the proper handle for the individual that's running through our workflow. And so that is pretty much it. Our workflow is set up. We've got the leads coming from our B2B, sent to N8N to process, and then they're now coming to Prospera to get engaged with. So I've just duplicated this HTTP request right here just to showcase this in action. I have then added in my own name here, my own LinkedIn handle. So I'll just right click on this and I'll execute the step. And if I come back to Prospera here, I'm just going to refresh the page and we should see myself coming through in Prospera. And now we can see that a lead is coming through and this should be myself. And here we go. We can see myself. I've now populated within the system. I've got my name here, company research output, and then you can see some information here that has been scraped directly from LinkedIn. So awesome. That's clearly now working. I'm in the system and that should be good to go. Just scrolling down a bit, we've also got lead research and lead qualification. And these are ultimately just AI prompts to help you manage these leads for your outreach needs. So for lead research, ultimately, if you want to get a specific bit of information out of these individuals to use when sending the personalized messages, you can put in a custom prompt here. So if there's a specific bit of information that you would be interested in looking for example, if we wanted to know if they were already interested in some sort of AI systems before, we could add a prompt here in which specifically tries to get this Prospera system to look for any indication of interest in AI systems previously. And then we can use that data specifically to personalize the first message that we send out. Then underneath this, we've got lead qualification. This is very important for us. We get a lot of unqualified leads coming through the website, and no doubt about it, most businesses probably do. And so if you can add in a qualification prompt, which essentially just outlines the types of individuals that you'd be looking to work with and the types of individuals that you wouldn't want to work with, this does do a pretty good job at looking at these LinkedIn profiles and determining whether or not it fits your criteria or not. And obviously, if it fits the criteria, they'll go through your messaging process. Otherwise, if they're not qualified, it's not going to do anything with them. So this is pretty much it for the first setup here on Prospera. Just click the continue button and it's going to be all ready to go to start sending out messages. Now, once you've clicked that button, you are going to land on this page right here, in which is where you're going to be able to set up and customize what these messages are going to look like. So just looking at the main part of the page here, this is the workflow in which is going to be used for nurturing our leads and sending these follow-up messages. So it's very simple to use. The first message right here says create and send a message. And this is the message framework. And this is essentially a prompt in which is being used to structure and format the first message that's going to get sent out. So you can see here, it says, hey, first name, I noticed your experience in relevant field/industry. And it's got sort of a message template right here. This is going to get used against an AI model to populate those fields based on the LinkedIn lead data. So on the right-hand side, you can see all of my information right here. This is what would get populated within these fields, or the AI would determine what should be populated in those fields. So pretty simple, just need to build out a template that you like and that works well for your use case. And then beneath this message, you'll see here that we have a wait step. So it says wait for 3 days. So you can essentially set up a wait amount for how long you want to wait until sending off your follow-up messages. And so by default, it's just waiting 3 days before sending off the second message. And then once again, build out a template, obviously making sure that the AI can populate some relevant fields for it to make it personalized. And then after 3 days, that message will get sent out. If you wanted to, you could add more messages as well. This is the default. You can add in as many messages as you want and just continue to follow up and nurture these leads. And I can show you an example of this working in action. If I hit the generate button, it's going to go ahead and generate these messages relevant to my profile and this prompt right here. And here we go. So you can see here, it says, I noticed your extensive experience in AI development and premium consulting, and I thought you might be interested in learning how to accelerate AI implementation, blah, blah, blah. You can see that it has been able to look at my profile right here, understand exactly what kind of services we provide, and then just personalize the message to fit in with that. And then second, on the second message, you can see that it's done the exact same thing right here. It's added in my company name as well as all of the things that are relevant to who I am. It's pretty awesome stuff, pretty easy to get set up as well. And at this point, we are now collecting our website visitors, we're turning them into usable LinkedIn profiles, and then we're sending out and nurturing them via messages. So just hit the continue button right here, and this is literally all good to go. This will start running automatically for you. So that is pretty much all that you need to set up this lead machine. Once again, this is something that you can literally just turn on and have run in the background, and it's going to start to produce connections and leads and messages all for you. Now, if you are a business owner and this is a system that you could see yourself making use of, we'd be more than happy to explore this potential use case for you and others as well. So feel free to reach out with me and my team by using the first link in the description. And if you are someone that is looking to build these systems and sell them to other companies, once again, I'm going to have all of these resources and templates for a completely free download within my school community. With over 20,000 members now, it's getting pretty active. There's a lot of people that you can network with, and it's no doubt about it, one of the most helpful things that you can do. And if you did like this video, check out this video right here where I built out an AI voice agent for an e-commerce store, which I think is pretty cool as well.